I mean, they're kind of crap, but they're not complete crap. They cut.
I'm your huckleberry.
What's up, fishy friends? Welcome to Tim's School of Fish, and class is in session. I like Rough Rider knives. People call it cheap, China, junk. They're cheap. They're definitely inexpensive. They're made in China, but I wouldn't necessarily call them junk. I think Rough Rider knives are a great way to get your hand on a bunch of different slip joint patterns that aren't necessarily readily available all the time. So today we're going to take a look at a newer one from Rough Rider. This is a modern slip joint. What I call a modern slip joint has torque screw construction as opposed to pin construction. So we're going to take a look at this one today. So without further ado, let's get this camera turned around and take a closer look.
Hey man, do me a favor and go ahead and hit that like button. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe. It sure does help the channel. We sure do appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much, man.
All right, so most of my viewers already know this, but I also have a lot of newer viewers, and I have quite a few viewers that are actually just getting into knives and just getting into slip joints. So I want to go over this. Rough Rider produces what I call these standalone one-off knives that it's just a knife. It's not part of a series. And those knives come in this little two-piece box. They also have series of slip joints that all are different patterns, different knives, but they have the same cover material or the same scales. So those series knives, they all come in a similar box, and they're sort of flip top magnetic boxes. So this is not part of a series. This is one of their one-off knives. On the end here, we've got some information about our knife. This is RR2698, Rough Rider number 2698. And if you're new to Rough Rider knives, most of them don't have names. The best way to identify a Rough Rider knife is with that number right there. So let's take a look at this bad boy. All right, look at that beauty right there. So our overall length is 7 inches on this one. We've got a 3-inch blade, 4-inch handle. Our blade is a hollow ground clip point blade with a long pull, a forward swedge, and a satin finish. On the show side tang, we've got the Rough Rider etch on there. Now, when Rough Rider first started, they spelled it R-I-D-E-R like this. Then they switched to Rider with a Y. Now they are in the process of switching back to Rider with an I. So you're going to get some knives with the R-I-D-E-R spelling, and some still have the R-Y spelling. But it's my understanding that they're going back to this spelling on all of their knives. On the pile side, we've got our model number there. Now, this one is what I call a modern slip joint because it has torque screw or screwed construction as opposed to pin construction. We've got a T8 torque screw on our pivot, T6 torque screws on our body there, stainless steel back spring and stainless steel liners on this one. We've got a stainless steel bolster here with an acid wash on it over what looks like a satin finish. I think that bolster is really nice. 2 threads on the bolster there. Our covers on this one are natural micarta. I think that looks super slick. And then our liners also have that black acid wash on there. Fit and finish on this one is pretty good for a Rough Rider knife. So our transition from our bolster to our cover is nice and smooth. No stepping or gapping on our back spring whatsoever. Typically on a Rough Rider knife, these are less than 20 bucks. You are going to have a little bit of gapping a lot of times, but none on this one at all. We've got a pretty good spring termination on there. Not perfectly squared off, but actually a lot better than a lot of more recent case knives. And we've got really good blade centering on that one. So you can open it with this long pull and it works fine, but I prefer to pinch open it because you do have enough room here to pinch it. Pull on that is about a 4. We do have a half stop on this one. At the half stop, our back spring is not perfectly flush, but it's pretty darn close and that doesn't bother me at all. Good snap at the fully open position. Our back spring is perfectly flush. Good positive jump to the half stop. And a nice loud chatty talk. Really smooth walk on this one. Nice loud vocal talk, which you don't often find on slip joints with screwed construction like this. So really good walk and talk. In the hand, this is super comfortable. For me, it's about a 3.5 finger grip. Most people are going to get a 4-finger grip on this. You do have a little bit of room there on the kick, not much to choke up on. Super comfortable in the hand, no hot spots, no warm spots. Everything is chamfered down nicely. Really well done, no sharp edges, no pokey parts on here. Fit and finish is very good. Walk and talk is also very good on this one. For a $17 knife, I mean, you really can't beat it. Now, most of my slip joint guys are going to notice right away that this looks very much like a Tony Bose Lanny'S clip, which is just a famous, iconic slip joint. We've got that clip point blade on here, and we've got the same handle or frame as we see on the Lanny'S clip. Kind of a dog leg without the sway back, kind of a saddle horn without as much of a beak or a swell at the butt end, but very, very much like the Lanny'S clip. Now, we don't have the pawn shield like you get on the Tony Bose Lanny'S clip, and I'm not saying this is a Lanny'S clip or even close to it. Of course not. Tony Bose is a freaking icon, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, well, that's a Lanny'S clip, no doubt about it. Couple minor things that I would change, you know, if I could, but it doesn't take away from the knife at all. We've got a little bit of a smile there where they got into the sharpening choil. That's pretty common on a Rough Rider on a cheap knife like this. But one thing I don't like, and I wish they would have done differently, is not extend that long pull into the swedge. I wish they would have stopped the long pull short of the swedge. You see what I'm talking about? You see how that pull goes into the swedge there? It just really, it's not necessary. It kind of takes away from the aesthetic of the knife. You've got a really nice long pull here. You've got a beautiful swedge here, and then they cross over each other right there. And it's just, yeah, not good. If I could change anything about this knife, that would be it. But otherwise, a freaking awesome modern slip joint from Rough Rider right here. Rough Rider has a habit of putting out these modern slip joints that are usually freaking bangers, and this is one of them. As always, guys, I appreciate you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know if you've got this one. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you have a Tony Bose Lanny'S clip. I don't have one. I would love to have one, but they're not cheap. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Just click my logo right over there. That's it for this episode of Tim's School of Fish. Boys and girls, class dismissed.